Hello, welcome to the Eccoflipping podcast. My name is Cody, and we're here with our guest today, Don. He is a part-time reseller. I met him on Instagram. He's been following me for a while, and I'm finally glad to have a fan of my page on the show. But he's going to go into the ins and outs of what he does on a daily basis and what he does in reselling and just in life in general. So I hope you guys have a great time during this episode and enjoy episode 5 of the Echo Flipping podcast. All right. Don, if you can give like a brief introduction of kind of what you do, if you go to school, how's the reselling going?
I'm a was a full-time, part-time college student. I just recently graduated, got my degree in history.
Sweet.
I would say I part-time resell from mostly Burlington. I have picked up some stuff from like Ross and Marshalls.
What area are you based out of? Just out of curiosity.
In San Diego, California, and then there's like within that county or city, there's a city called Chula Vista, and that's where I live and basically do everything.
Oh yeah, that's great, man. I bet you have a ton of stores.
Yeah, there's like just within 10 miles, like 3 Burlingtons.
That's
And then you have
crazy.
Ross's and you have the Marshalls, yeah. And then I'm right next to the Mexican border, and right before you get to Mexico, there's this big outlet that is just all the outlet stores like Nike, um, Adidas, everything.
That's so good. Wait, how far away do you live from there?
Mm, It's like if there's no traffic, like 5-10 minutes. Yeah.
That's such a great opportunity. I wish I could have that. My Nike outlet's an hour and a half away. If I want to go to a Burlington, it takes 30 minutes. So pretty crazy.
I live right next to a Burlington, so I just walk to it.
Oh my god, that's so great. So you just go in, get your stuff, and make some money.
Yeah.
That's actually really sick. So you got your degree. Are you currently employed, or are you just doing reselling part time?
Just reselling part time. I'm planning on getting a job in the next, hopefully, a month, 2-3 months, depending on how the situation is, because we went on lockdown again.
Yeah.
Um, I'm planning a year to transfer to university. So I
Okay.
did my 2-year degree at Southwestern Community College. I want to go to San Diego State University for my bachelor's degree. Um, yeah, that's
Sweet man, that's pretty sick. So you see, basically your main goal is school, and reselling's just like just some side money.
yeah, like it's just for fun, and then like just to make like side money. I also used to flip Supreme and then like Yeezys, and then the like the Nike hype shoes, like the SB Dunks and all that.
Yeah. Enter the raffles.
Yeah,
Did you ever get into botting, or were you just kind of like
no,
you just the raffles, everything free,
just luck basically.
just luck basically?
Cause like I always wanted to do the body, and I'm not gonna lie, but I don't understand it, and then you gotta pay, and it's like it's kind of above my pay grade.
Yeah. Yeah, it is definitely. I've talked to people in the shoe botting community, and it seems like it's like the cost is pretty high, but over time, and you can lose money, and nothing's guaranteed. But over time, if you build up the skill, like anything, if you get good at it, then you'll eventually have a lot of success with it. So it seems really interesting to me, and I do own one bot, and it is something. It's a whole new world. It's pretty it's pretty neat. But that's really great that you enter all the raffles. And so, do you still do that, or that was just kind of like a thing that you did
Um,
before?
if I can get up, because like the raffles are at 7 a.m. So I always like miss it by like 15, 20 minutes. Um, for Supreme, it depends. I haven't really tried for anything because Supreme is weird. Like some people say it's dead, and then there's that one item that's just ridiculous on the resale.
Yeah, for sure.
Um,
Yeah,
it's just a casual thing. I won the Black Yeezys. I think it was 2 weeks ago.
the
Yeah,
breads. That's
yeah. I catch the restock on that.
that's crazy. See, I I do sell some shoes, but I've been focusing mostly on the retail arbitrage because this Q4 is pretty crazy. But I'm slipping on the shoe raffles and all
I
that
feel
type of
like there's
things.
more money in clothing and like flipping stuff now than there is shoes.
Yeah,
Um, like just for me personally, like what I've been selling more now is clothes, soccer jerseys, sports accessories.
yeah. Do you get those from like the Burlingtons?
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything basically from Burlington. Where when I started, I just used to sell shoes, like any type of shoe, like Nike, Adidas, Polo, Ralph de Lauren, um, like work boots, like any type of shoe.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like it switched because of the pandemic, where you're not the average person isn't going out that much. They're not showing off, so then they're going more towards like stuff that's needed, like a running jacket or a jersey or something, you know.
Yeah, I've definitely seen a lot of changes due to the pandemic. So you still go out to the stores for the pandemic?
Um, well, like when it happened, everything closed, and then when it opened up, I went. Um, you got some good stuff on sale. Learned some things,
Yeah.
and then it was dry for like 2, 3 months. Like my Burlington was empty. There was like nothing,
Yeah.
and then it picks up, and yeah, I go casually, like say a couple times a week.
That's pretty cool. The same exact thing happened to me. There was that one. I don't know if you went on opening day, but I went on
Mhm.
opening day to all of my Rosses in my area, and I absolutely cleaned up on basically everything. I bought everything that was like I'd say almost everything that was like $3 or less. They marked down a ton of shoes, but yeah, for 2 3 months, the whole thing for me was the combination of not wanting to go out to be at risk uh, for this virus, and the stores that I usually go to. I also like going to. I'd say I'm a little bit more diversified. Sometimes I go to Walmart. Um, Things like that, like Walmart, even like Tractor Supply, and kind of like random stores, thrift shops. But the main, like the tried and true, the Ross, Marshalls, Burlington was absolutely dry for me for like 2 3 months, like you said. So I saw people were having a lot of success with online arbitrage, and now that's starting to become uh, a lot better and a lot more time effective for me than going to any of those stores. I went to Ross the other day, and I was like, I'm literally wasting my time because I could just be making double or triple the money doing online arbitrage. So that's just kind
Like
of where I'm at right now.
like I've noticed that too. I recently helped my mom pick up some stuff from OfferUp, and she was getting like brand new, like I don't even think any of it was used Michael Kors like items.
Yeah,
And I know Michael Kors is on the lower end of luxury, entry level luxury, but she was getting like the let's say you go to Burlington or Ross, it's like the $20 scarf for like $10, brand new. The purses for like $40, almost brand new, and no tag obviously, but like
yeah,
fairly new. And I mean, if you had the time, you could post that and sell it for more. Um,
yeah,
so yeah, I've noticed that too. I think there's more people wanting to just get rid of the items because they don't know how to sell, and that's a big opportunity.
Yeah, it really is. I've heard some shoe sellers that have literally made like like 5 to 10 grand just off of they have like save searches on Macari, so they'll put like something like basic, like they'll put like uh SB Nike, right? And you're able to do a save search, so when somebody types that in on Macari, the you'll get a notification when somebody posts a new item. So if you see if it's like a SB Nike shoe, it, a lot of like some people don't know the high end from the low end. You don't know what's happening. Maybe somebody's girlfriend uh, hates them and they want to sell all their shoe collection, right? So they just put it's like, oh, I think these shoes are worth $50. They put their SB Dunks that are actually worth like $300 on Macari for $50, and you go and you scoop that up. They also have the coupons, and I think online's like pretty crazy, because it's like you dip your hand in like all these different honey pots instead of, oh, I just have just like my Burlington or just my Ross to go to.
And it's
So
all from the comfort of your home, like on your computer or cell phone. So like zero risk, and you're comfortable.
yeah, well the I'd say there's not necessarily zero risk because
Oh,
like
no, I mean like the virus. I'm sorry. Let me
oh
clarify
yeah,
that.
yeah. Okay. I was about to say because I've definitely bought
Oh,
things and I'm like, oh shit, or sorry, I'm like, oh heck, there's no return policy. Like you can't return it. The seller doesn't accept returns, or whatever. And then I've definitely lost a little bit of money doing that, but I learned from that. But yeah. So let's see. So, what other types of reselling are you interested in? You think you're just going to go to your local stores and that's it? Do you want to try other things? Maybe even other businesses? Not something that's not reselling related?
um, what I've wanted to do is like just get into like the hype shoes, either winning them through the raffles or getting just getting them for like the panic resale,
Yeah.
because some of them can skyrocket, like the SB Valentine's Day Strange Love Dunks. I won them, which is insane. I won them for $100 on the Nike raffle. 8.5, because
Yeah.
I'm in between an 8.5. So it's like that's already a rare size right there.
Yeah.
And I sold them for 500. Yeah, and I won. I made like 400. It's still a good amount off $100, but if I would have held them just for 2 months, $1,500.
Yeah.
Like,
Crazy.
yeah, and that's something I want to do where I want to like get those shoes and save them. Like I don't want to like make a stockpile of the same shoe, but if it's your size or something you know you can sell
Yeah.
for above what you paid, in a year sell that and you could make, like for example me, I didn't just win those. I won the Yeezy Zebras,
Ooh.
8.5. Again, it was a restock, but still. Um, I won two other pairs of Yeezys. Um, so those three Yeezys and the Strange Love SB Dunks, if I would have waited just like a year,
Yeah.
I think that's like 500 I had invested. I would have made profit like 2,000. Like you figure 100, 100 for the Yeezys, maybe 200 profit for the Zebras, and then 15 for the Strange Loves. You know,
Yeah, that it adds up to be a lot.
that to me that's a lot of money. I mean that's a lot, like off of like
Yeah.
barely 500.
Yeah, that's
Um,
really good. That's really good return on investment. So it sounds like you kind of like the idea of holding. Basically, from my understanding, some people buy so like one popular shoe. Are you familiar with like the Jordan 1 Mochas that recently came out? People are holding those Mochas Because if they got them, say they picked them up really early for $300, they're already up at like 420, 450, and in my personal opinion, I think they're probably going to hit around 500 in the next few months. So it sounds like you're more into like you get the hype sneakers for retail, and then you hold them for a few months so they appreciate, and then you sell them when you think it's the right time.
That's a goal I have. Because I'll be honest, I panic sell with those
Yeah.
because it was a lot. Because you're a college student, not working. Um, but it can also backfire. Like what originally got me into reselling was, so I went to Burlington and I tried to sell some white Converse that didn't sell, returned. I tried to buy this Michael Kors purse, didn't sell, returned. And my third time I went back and I found these New Balance concepts. I don't know if you're familiar with them. The Made in America, made in
Oh
the
my! So you got that is a come up. So what are those worth? 200, 250?
um, three pairs of the Made in America are made in the USA, and then one pair made in England, and some Nike SB Jovanski like camo shoes, which were pretty decent. They were selling for like 70. I paid 30 for them. So I posted them, and like that week, every day I got like hits. Like the Made in England one, paid 30, sold it for like, I think, like 130, something like that. So $100 profit.
Yeah.
The Made in America ones, it was small sizes, so it was kind of like everybody wanted the big sizes. But I think each one I made like 100, 150 profit.
Yeah, that's just so solid.
And then I got my 30 investment back. So by the end of the week, I made like almost 500, not
Yeah.
counting my investment back. Um, but here's the thing. See, if I would have kept them, since there was like a flood and the popularity kind of died down because other hype shoes came out,
Yeah.
now they're selling for like 80, like $100, I think.
Yeah.
So it can work both ways against you. You
Of
just have to like,
Of course. Some I've seen shoes. There was one big controversy in the sneaker community. Uh, there was some dude named, I don't know if you've heard of him before. His name was Sneaker Invest. Basically, he was saying that the Chunky Dunkies would go. Some people were investing in them. I thought that was really weird, but some people were thinking that they were gonna head above $2,000, and now they're all the way down. If you bought that shoe and you held it, you would have lost. Some of them are selling for $1,300, $1,400 now, so you would have lost a lot of money if you paid 15, 1,600 for them. So it definitely, like any investment, it's not guaranteed, and it can be risky if you don't know what you're doing.
and I feel like you also have to look at the factors that we don't see. So like the Yeezys, the production got boosted up, so you can get any type of Yeezy now.
Yeah.
And it is something that we have to acknowledge and talk about. The Chinese copies are like very, very prevalent now,
Yeah.
and they're good. Like some of them you can't tell unless you cut them open.
Yeah, they're crazy good.
And that cuts both ways. So like there's a lot of inventory now, real and fake. And the average person, do I want to spend like what, 300-400 from like a reseller for a shoe that they just re-released, or I could get it for like a Chinese seller for a couple hundred. So that's another thing you got to look at.
Yeah.
Um, with the chunky monkey thing, is that what you call them?
It's the chunky the Nike chunky
Chunky
dunks. It's
monkey.
like
Okay.
it's like after the ice cream.
Yeah. I feel like those are more of a gimmick, And then
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt. Like they didn't look good, and I mean, like they looked decent. They were something different, but it's like,
and
do
then
people actually want to wear this shoe? I feel like that's the big determining factor.
the other thing is you got to look at the target audience. So it's like people that really like ice cream or girls. And I'm not trying to be, that guy or be like, you know, on fashion, but it's like has like what, like a zebra print almost,
Yeah, it's got a
like a cow
cow.
print.
It's a cow
Yeah.
print. Yeah, it is a really weird out there shoe, but I'd say like even like the Strange Loves are. I mean that shoe went up and it is a little bit weird and out there, but I I definitely could see those going up versus like you know what I mean.
Well,
Like I could see a big difference because there's a lot of I think the whole reason why people thought the dunks the chunk the chunky dunks would go up was because they're like, oh, it's a Nike SB dunk, it's gonna go up. The collectors want them, but I don't think that I think people have like these hard definitions of, oh, all Air Jordan ones go up, and yeah, like most of the Air Jordan ones go up, but not all of them. Like you got to take things with a grain of salt almost.
the thing about the strange love is you have like a mixed bag. So on one hand, they are out there with the pink and the suede, but it's a skate shoe that, I mean, for me personally, I grew up in the era where skaters made fun of Nike SB
Yeah,
Dunks, so I don't get the thing, but as skaters like them, so it has practicality. You can use it. Travis Scott wore them, so the hype is already through the
yeah,
roof. But there are the Valentine's Day collaboration that Nike comes out with. So you have like three groups that you can appeal to. The hype people, the collectors of Valentine's Day shoes. Like I saw the 2021 Valentine's Day shoe. I wouldn't mind having that, honestly.
yeah.
Um, and then the skaters, the diehard skaters, which I don't think they're gonna pay 1,500. I think they would pay 400 or 500, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it is I think that is definitely one key thing to think about is like who actually wants this shoe and to see like I can definitely see just a prime example of like a lot of Air like I said before a lot of Air Jordan 1s go up. I can definitely see you have a few different groups. You have collectors that just like this shoe. Like I think they personally just look sick, but I'm not a collector, but I mean I could totally see myself like just having one on a shelf. And then there's also the whole craze about it on social media. There's all these social media influencers that are wearing the Air Jordan ones, so then they're going up, and just like people just all around like the look of the shoe. Like it just looks amazing. Air like Air Jordan ones in general are just usually kind of hard to get, and another factor is since people wear them, like yeah they might have a lot of stock of it. Like for the mochas, I think they had uh, four what was it 400,000 plus pairs of them, but people are gonna wear those mochas because they look sick. That's just what it is.
And I also feel like it's the quality. Like I don't want to talk bad about any shoe, but it's like the Yeezy. I wore two pairs of Yeezys. They wear out super fast. Like just casually walking, maybe once or twice going to the gym,
Yeah,
but like this is barely doing half a mile on the treadmill. Like this is nothing. They start to wear out. And I've saw used Air Jordan Nikes where they're worn, but there's so much meat on the tread
yeah,
that it's just like how. Um, I just think Nike has better quality, not in terms of like it's gonna fall apart, in terms it's gonna last.
yeah. I mean, I can say that I could say that's true for like some shoes, but I think it also depends on the model. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Different people swear by different shoes too. It's kind of crazy. Like I didn't know anything about you were talking about like the New Balances earlier. I had no idea any New Balance was worth money like a year ago, but now I know there's some New Balances. They might even look really ugly, but if they're like if they're the certain model, they're gonna be worth a lot of money because I see these old people wearing these New Balances that are really high end, and you don't think of them because they just kind of like blend in. You know what I mean? The
Like
shoe just kind of blends in with everything else. You just think
I
it
grew
might be a $20 shoe, but it's like $300.
I grew up with the idea that New Balance is an old man shoe that you
Yeah,
get at Target, and it's like, wow, this is like a $200 sneaker,
yeah,
and it also has the quality. I've got some, I think it's what, the 570 or something like that.
yeah,
It looks like the Made in America one. So I got it like at Burlington for like $30. I was like, I'm just gonna use it as a casual shoe, and I thought it would wear out. I wear them to like hike. I go like to a park where there's like a dirt trail, and I
yeah,
just walk through it. And it's not hiking, but you're still in dirt. I wear it every day, and it literally hasn't worn out. It hasn't gave out. It's a comfortable shoe.
yeah,
I would I would definitely pay the like retail brand new is like $80. I would pay the 80.
yeah. Because you know it's gonna last more than those like $300 Yeezys.
Yeah, I like the look of the Yeezy. Don't get me wrong, but it doesn't last.
Yeah,
It doesn't last. And the fact that you have to size up, like I know maybe that's just the style of the shoe, but if there's a shoe where you have to get like a different size, you got to do mathematics to figure it out. I don't.
whatever.
That's another check mark against it for me.
So, what platforms do you currently sell on? Do you just sell on
Just
eBay or do you
just
sell
just
on
eBay
Amazon?
right now.
Just
Just
eBay?
eBay.
I do have to say I feel like it eBay's one of the best platforms to sell sneakers on, especially now with all the recent changes. Because you basically, if you really think about it, it's just you sell a shoe over $100, you basically just pay shipping and no fees. So that's all a seller could ever want, honestly.
I found some. I think it's Air Max 97s and 95s. Burlington for like 60 each. That was like two months ago. Posted them up for like 160, and they sold. And I didn't know that there was no fees, and I was prepared to like, okay, I'll make whatever on the after my fees. And I looked. I was like,
You're like,
wow, I made $100 each for each shoe and my original investment back.
yeah,
Like, wow.
definitely some thick checks coming in from the shoes. Yeah, it's pretty crazy because like if you went to go work at like maybe like a fast food joint or even like a $15 an hour job, all you have to do is find one really good shoe and sell it, and it's like you made a whole day's pay almost. You know what I mean? Sell two shoes and you basically made more money than you would work in a 10-hour shift at a $15 an hour job.
It's crazy how just some of the stuff just like I said the New Balances, and I just went to that one, and I went back another day to look for more. And I saw another reseller with one pair of them, and yeah, if I would have put more like time and energy into it, I could have cleaned up on those. But
Yeah.
like 400 profit off of 160.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And the other thing that's interesting is also my market. Well, used to be, and like it's gotten better. So all those sold almost, I think, but one pair sold overseas. So like one pair of New Balances went to China. This was pre-COVID. One pair went to Japan.
Yeah.
One pair went to the Nike SBs went to Guam.
Yeah.
I like the overseas, the buyers. You do have to be careful if they have like those changing stations.
Yeah, some of the weird addresses, they're usually really good.
Yeah, most of them are just like I feel like they're rich. foreign people that just want certain types of shoes.
The what I've learned is the market on like in Asian countries is really different than the market here, and vice versa. So I know for the Air Jordan 1 mids, there's some Asian buyers that will pay like 150, 170 for a pair of mids that retail here for 120. But the thing is, the Asian buyer that pays 170 for that shoe is going to sell it for 200, 225, 250 in their area. So they're actually making money off of you. And when that happens, I'm completely fine with it because they're just capitalizing off of the arbitrage between the markets. But that's not a really unheard of thing because their
And
market's just really different from ours.
and like what I like about what I sell and when I sell is I like to think that it goes to somebody that can use that item, because when I buy something, it's something I want, something I can use, and
Yeah,
that's another thing. To the market thing, which it's like I would say everybody knows small sizes in Asian countries do really well, like 7, 8. I think I sold all my 8s to like Japan and China.
yeah.
Um, Football shoes. I don't know if you know the Air Jordan um, football cleats,
Oh
the
yeah. I
The
I
Chicago's.
I sadly have not found a single one, but I haven't been to Burlington lately, so
I found one pair like 2 months ago. Only pair I ever found. Those things, I don't know what happened to them. So it was a size 13. I was like, okay, put it
yeah,
up for 120. They were going for like 50, 60. But see, I ship internationally,
yeah.
and I got a buyer in the UK like a couple days later. He bought them for 120, and
That's
I made
great.
$100 plus shipping.
That's great. Yeah, sometimes like the odd sizes, it's like a curse and a blessing. You know what I mean? It's like you have that odd size, so it might actually never sell, or it might. I feel like for that shoe, there's always going to be a market for it. But a size 12 cleat, it's not uncommon to pick up a size 12 cleat and then it never sell. I usually steer away from those big sizes. But honestly, a pickup like that, I'd be somewhat iffy at because I feel like size 12 is just really big for like a football cleat. But
Big sizes don't
yeah,
scare me. Like 12, 13 is my max. Although 13 is really pushing it, but I've actually sold a lot of cleats in 12 and 13 now that I think about it. What scares me, and I won't lie, is like a 7 and an 8. When I see that 8 and a 7, I won't get it.
well,
Um, but in one way, it's weird because like um, I wear between an 8 and 8.5.
uh huh,
So I that's a size I would buy. I had a friend that was an 8.5. He couldn't fit into a 7, an 8, but he was like in the middle. My dad is in between an 8 to a 9. So realistically, it's not a bad size,
yeah.
but for selling purposes, I just have the worst luck.
You just have worse luck with it. Some
Yeah.
Every shoe has a different market. Some people like some shoes. Some people don't like others. I feel like there's a
And
lot of factors.
unless it's a hype shoe, but like I'm talking about like golf shoes, like just regular, sneakers.
Yeah. I mean, I feel personally, I feel like it depends. Also, like for me, I like listing on OfferUp, Macari, eBay, and I tried Facebook Marketplace. Never worked out too much, so I basically list on those three platforms, and I do also sell on Amazon. But for those three platforms, it seems like most things, if it's a decent shoe with decent pictures, it will move. But it does really just depend. I mean, it some shoes just don't move. Some other shoes just move really quickly.
I like back in like the beginning of the year, I got my start with golf shoes and the New Balances,
Yeah,
sneakers. But way back in the day, like 2017, OfferUp and Craigslist was how I got my start into reselling. So,
So you've been doing this for 3 years?
well, the reason why I use quotations is back in 2017, my dad had like a whole garage full of like car parts and stuff.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm gonna throw it away. If you can sell it, you know, you can keep the money. Just you're the one that has to do the work. So we had an OfferUp account and kind of used it to like buy stuff. I'm like, I guess I'll try it. So I started posting, and it was fun. Like you meet people, you set up deals, like times, places. I made like 3,000 in like 2 months.
Sounds like some good car parts your dad let you sell.
Well, the thing is, it was quantity,
You
like
just
tires, rims. Just it was just the quantity, not really the quality.
so it was like so okay. So you said you made $3,000 off of it, but how many individual sales did you have to make?
It was off the top of my head, maybe like 40, 50 in that. I'm not sure actually. That's a good question. But I know that the most expensive thing I ever sold was like 200.
Really?
So I don't know how I can do the math. Like
No,
it was,
I was just kind of curious.
yeah, no, it
'Cause
was never
that's a
anything
good come up.
insane. Like no motors, no like stuff like that. Just like car radios, tires, like a bumper. But it was truck parts, so that's another thing.
Yeah, truck
Truck,
truck parts are good.
they are stupid expensive to buy and sell.
I I I wouldn't say it failed, but I almost kind of gave up on it. I was trying to do online arbitrage, but for uh, for different car parts, and basically they had like this site where you can it has like a database of all the different junkyards, and you can call them up and lowball them on different items, and then sell it on eBay for a profit. But what I found out doing that, there's a lot of different issues on whether or not they actually test if it works. There's just a lot of factors to it. But
The biggest advice I give to that, anybody listening, Toyota Tacoma parts are gold.
oh
Any,
yeah,
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 I have a Tacoma. My dad has two Tacomas. They are expensive to get parts for, but they're fun to drive and to sell parts of. Like just the stock wheels, you get like 500 depending on the style.
yeah. It's kind of
And
crazy.
it don't matter if they're beat up, people will take them.
Yep. Yeah, there's just some cars that are. Um, I heard a story of a guy. He lived in Arizona. This is what I say. Everybody's market's different. Your market is insanely good to find products. My market, I'd say it's still really good, but no. I live in Florida, and Florida is actually really good for reselling, but California is like the cream of the crop. But there was this dude, and he lived in Arizona. In Arizona, everything's dry. They have, and they don't have like salt. Nothing gets rusted out. So they had these old cars that were pristine for some of their parts since everything was dry and nothing would get rusted, right? So this guy, there's this junkyard, and they would bring in old Honda Civic cars, right? And uh, they'd want they'd junk it, and it was a picker like a pick apart place, right? So this guy would go when the new stuff came in to this junkyard in Arizona, and he would pick parts of these old Honda Civics that people love collecting, and he'd have the pristine parts for it. The dude made in his first year, I think he made like 60, 70K just off of just going to the junkyard, the pick apart in the morning, picking off the cars off of the new Honda Civics, and then selling it on eBay. So that
That's
was,
insane.
yeah, that was insane. He said he had a few different tactics to get his costs low from the pick apart, and they were really lenient. So it was a combination of he got really lucky, he was in the right area, and he also realized the opportunity in front of him. Because some people have that same opportunity, but then they don't go for it. You know what I mean? So it's really crazy. It's
Yeah,
honestly crazy.
that's the one thing I love about California. We have like a big market of stuff. Like I said, there's like at least three Burlingtons within my little area, then Ross, then Marshalls. And it's weird because like there's a Ross here, and then you go like over here and there's a Ross.
Yeah.
And you also have like a big market. Um, I've sold a lot of stuff locally, but through eBay, which is weird. I don't know how they find me. Um, like literally people 5 minutes from where I live buy my stuff.
Really?
Um,
That's crazy.
I guess they look it up through the search bar, but um, I feel like California is a good market. I have family that goes to the swap meets and sells,
Yeah.
and that's a big market there too, because you have people coming up from Mexico, and you have people that just go to the swap meet for a hobby. Um, but you guys have the estate sales. I feel like
We
that
do.
is
We do. That is there is a niche market here. If you go to estate sales in Florida, there's rich people that have golf clubs and they're dead. And the family needs to sell the golf clubs. That was kind of blunt, but the
I
family needs to
mean,
the family needs to sell the golf club, and the person who owned the golf club doesn't really have any say anymore because they're not in the picture anymore. Sadly,
nobody knows golf, so they're just gonna like, $20, $100.
yeah, so sometimes some estate sales they know exactly what they have. Sometimes the family does a yard sale and the elderly person happened to pass away, but you can have a score on some golf clubs. I personally, there was a thrift store that I went to. I found three different golf clubs, and I paid $15 each for them. I sold each one of them for $135.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a really good come up. And then I also got some other, I'd say lower end, mid of the range golf clubs that were like 40-50 bucks for like $10. But
It
that
still
was
adds
just,
up.
yeah, it's still an insane score. It was just one person. They tried to sell their golf clubs at a yard sale and nobody wanted them, and then they went to the thrift store because they had the price tag. So it's just
Like
crazy.
I I want to get into golf, so like I'm in the middle where I'm a reseller and slash a buyer. And the buyer point of view, like you have to pay the price. They're expensive,
Yeah.
but you also, if you want to do it, that's another thing to add to the market. Like you need it. Like
Yeah.
I got lucky. I got some golf shoes my size at Burlington. But if I would have went to Nike, and they still had them in stock, by the way, I don't understand how they ended up at Burlington. At Nike, they were 180,
Yeah.
and Burlington like $30. It's like, there
Yeah.
you go.
You got lucky. You got
But if you don't have that outlet, you got to spend the money. You
exactly.
gotta, you know.
And you just happen to find that very high end golf shoe in your size. So you got lucky. I know for the golf equipment, I have some friends that do enjoy golf, and they say like it's really rough because if you want to buy golf clubs, everything's specific. Like the golf club's a certain height. The way I don't know too much about golf, but the wedges are different degrees, and you need like a certain. You want to have like a set, but the whole set costs like 400 or 500 bucks. So it's really tough. It's really tough to just get a set for the low. That's basically what I'm trying to say here.
And then you also have Kobik, which I mean, I know for a fact that those places are still open, but I don't feel like it's as easy to get some of the stuff. So you see it on the resale market, and just buy it and have it shipped to my house.
Yeah. It's just convenient. Buy and ship it. I'm a reseller, and I mean I'm fine with just buying stuff online. I know they're making money off of me, but it gives me that convenience of you just get it. You know what I mean? You don't
I
have to look for it.
I just bought something for resale that I know what it was, because have you saw the Nike South Korean soccer jerseys at Burlington?
I think so. Are those the ones where it's like, is it like,
Zebra.
oh, is it like this the, is it like where it's halved and they're like $300? You know what I'm talking about?
No, it's like
I know
re,
that's
re,
not very specific, but
no. Retail was like 90. It was like soccer jersey, but it's like zebra print all over. It's for South Korea.
okay.
Um, like 20 at Burlington. I found a size small. I need a medium, so I got it. I posted it. I don't know if it's gonna sell, but I was like, you know what? I got my degree. I don't care. I'm gonna just treat myself.
Yeah.
And so I went on eBay, found a medium for $50, which to me that's reasonable because fees and shipping, you might as well take $10 off.
Yeah.
And they paid 20 for it. They're gonna make 20. I don't have to go to any other Burlingtons. I don't have to pay 90 at Nike, and I got it. It's my size, and I know I helped a reseller.
Yeah.
So they went to somebody's family, because there are people that they use that money for their family or to help people.
Yeah, it's a win-win.
So yeah, that's I guess the reason why I said that story was I saw that comment that you post, not you, that a guy posted on your page and you reposted it, where it's like, how did it go? Like, oh, how can you resell stuff? Like, oh, you people are the problem.
Oh, it was probably one of the I made a slightly controversial post about like different maybe PS5s. There's a post where I made where somebody was uh, talking about if you buy something for with the intention of like reselling it, you're scum because somebody else could have bought it, and um, basically I think what they were trying to say was they were just not happy that they had to pay above retail price for something, but I tried to educate the person that everything you buy, um, you're basically paying resale for because you're not getting directly from unless you're getting something directly from the distributor. You're getting. I don't want to say you're getting played, but you're getting upsold. You know what I mean? They're making money off of you, but that's it. Like in most circumstances, that's okay. Like if you go to Walmart, like almost everything there is from China. Like they're making money off of those products. They're making a lot of money off of those products
Not
that
to
they're
mention
selling to you.
the trade off value, like the dollar. You take it to any like country, it's like worth double, triple. So when they when we buy something for cents on the dollar, we're not really like hurting them. It's just a trade off value, and then they sell that item that they bought low there here for higher.
Yeah.
My thing about people that do that, say that, um, in terms of like reselling, we take the risk. Like an item could not sell from
Exactly. There's a lot of
that
factors.
pair of shoes that I bought at Burlington to the PS5, and maybe we can return it. Maybe we have to sit on it. But either way, it's still a risk. Like
Exactly.
I have to go back, return it, wait in line, or I have to just save it.
Yeah.
And we also are putting our capital into it. You know,
Yep.
we're not just getting it for free. Like I pay everything in cash, so then when I return, it's more simpler.
Yeah.
Um, and if you don't like it, you don't have to buy it. That's another thing.
Yeah, that's another thing too.
Like for me personally, I want a PS5, but I don't want to pay the resale. Not
Yeah.
because of the reseller, no, because I know what's going to happen. Sony is going to make a newer slim version,
Yeah.
and it's going to go down in value. Or I don't know if you remember. Do you know what the red ring of death is for the
Of course. I've
360?
had that happen to me. Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah, so like yeah, imagine you pay resale. You buy the 360 back in '05. You're happy and you get that red ring of death and it's like and I won't blame the reseller. I won't
Yeah,
even blame the store. I blame the company.
exactly.
So me personally, I'm just gonna wait until June or July.
When the newer models come out, so they're not as defective. Yeah,
Yeah.
I understand that. Everybody has their own reason why they buy things. Some people have money. I know me personally, if we're going to talk about PS5s a little bit, me personally in my life, I've never had console day one. I've always had very used. I got the GameCube back in. I got the GameCube like months after the Wii release. Like I never had like the best systems. I didn't want to ask my parents for it. I felt bad. I had to dog sit. I had to work for uh, basically all of the stuff that I really wanted to buy. So I feel like if people are able to make money off of something like that, that's not the only way to make sorry to make money. But if they have to like, if you really need $300, if some kid really needs $300 and they don't know how, and getting a PS5 and selling it, making $300 changes their life, that's an amazing thing. That's personally what I believe.
And
Um, and if somebody has the money to pay up for a PS5, they're not really going to be hurt by that. And if they are, that's their decision. You know what I mean?
and two other points I want to add to that. We resellers also offer convenience because okay, like PS5, and no matter what, the PS5 is gonna sell out
Yeah.
first day. Sony undersupplies, they hype it up. It's just a fact. So you could wait in line. I know that there wasn't lines, but like let's say there wasn't a pandemic, you gotta wait in line for it. You gotta. I used to go to the midnight launches as a kid for the games.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was fun, but yeah, because I had my dad and he drove, and I was like 12. But imagine you're an adult and you got to stay up till like 1 a.m.
Yeah.
in line.
Yeah, and then you could have been working and then making money. You could have been doing literally anything else and
There's
making money.
also a safety thing. I remember, like, I didn't think about it when I was a kid, but I remember, like, just now, it's like in the middle of the night in front of a GameStop in line with like 100 people. Like, that's not safe at all.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, we offer convenience. Um,
exactly.
and two, to add to the other point, the thing about a kid like reselling and making some extra money, I think people need to realize one thing: like these resellers that are reselling, or these kids that are reselling. Because like I'm 25. I don't. Some people say I'm young. Some people say I'm old. But they're doing something safe and not illegal. So it's like
Exactly.
you want them to do something illegal to get money, like
Yeah.
you know.
That's what I'm saying. It's like a legal way to actually make money, but make money quick and make money like easily. Like I personally know that there's some people that I've talked to that if they didn't discover reselling, they legit would have been selling drugs. Like they,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But this gives them an outlet, so they're not doing that, and they're actually providing. This might sound bad because we did talk about the PS5 example, but imagine it's literally any other item. They're providing you the convenience. They're providing a service for your
And
fellow humans
to
to
add
make to
to
make
it,
money off of.
they're also helping the economy because the FedEx driver, the UPS driver, the postal worker gets paid.
Yeah,
The what 2%, like 25% tax we pay to eBay and PayPal. You know that helps people have jobs. You know,
yeah,
um, the what's the places that we buy the stuff from. Like imagine if everybody that ever resold something from Burlington did it.
yeah.
You know, we're
They
we're
get less
providing
business.
we're providing them money, and that provides them with like being able to have a workforce. And I don't know how it works in other places, but I pay sales tax here, both when I buy something and sell something. So
Yeah.
that goes into the city. So, I don't really see a problem with reselling. I,
Yeah. We're
I don't.
definitely supporting a lot of fronts. I've had, I remember I had UPS workers. I had like 30 packages one day, right? And I brought it to a UPS worker, and I thought they'd be pissed off at me, but like it seemed, you know how like you go into a room, you feel the atmosphere. It seemed
Yeah,
like they were really scared because I read about some articles about Amazon buying out the USPS, and some of those people they were talking about how their pension they were going to get it in the next year, but if Amazon bought them out, they wouldn't get it. So they saw my packages and they were so happy because they're like, yes, this person's spending a lot of money for USPS, so they might actually employ me until I get my pension and not get bought out by Amazon. So
definitely.
so it's like I like if you pay for somebody's service, you're literally helping out people's livelihoods. So I think it's just a beautiful thing, and that's like you said, that's just one aspect. You have the taxes. So we technically, if we pay taxes, right, the 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 noble thing to do if you make over a certain amount of money on eBay, you start paying taxes, and we're supporting the roads. We're supporting the schooling system. We're supporting just like everybody else. So I don't really see any problem with it at all.
I think it's a beautiful thing reselling. I've had people like tell me, "Oh, I've been looking for this item for like so long. I'm really happy with like how these shoes fit." Like myself personally, like I bought stuff and like went out with my parents or went out with friends, and it sounds like weird, but like, you make a memory in that pair of shoes or that shirt, and then you like look at it and like, hey, I love this thing.
Yeah.
Um, I don't see how anybody could really talk bad about reselling,
Yeah.
being educated on it. If you're not, then yeah, you're gonna be angry on it.
Yeah, I definitely think like just the education on certain things. It seems like education, not just in reselling, but in like a lot of other aspects of life, it just fixes a lot of things. And I mean, I'd say sometimes if you're more educated on something, it you have to think about it more, and it could be bad, but like something like just getting, even slightly educated on some topics and understanding why people are doing the things that they're doing is overall just like a good thing. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, like it's totally off topic, but like when I was 19 and I started my first year of college, like just taking just a world history class and like learning about different cultures, like different. It was modern history, so it was like present. Changes your whole perception of
Yeah.
things, and if you don't have that, and then you get sucked into like different viewpoints and a more narrow-minded view, yeah.
Yeah.
So the best thing is like just education, just read. Like that's why when I got into selling, because originally I didn't follow anybody. I didn't even know there was a community.
Yeah.
I just thought, you bought something and sold it. And then I found different like Instagrammers that documented their stuff. I found you, I think, I want to say 6 months ago.
Okay.
Um, I really love your content, how you keep posting and posting. Like that's something I really enjoy.
Yeah. Thank you, man.
Um, and then you're very like personal about it. Like you get in front of the camera. Because I know some people like they don't want to be on camera. Like
Yeah.
for me, it would be hard.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I really do enjoy your page a
Th-
lot.
Thank you, man. I feel like everybody has their own thing, and me personally, I don't consider myself as the best speaker ever. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I wanted to start this podcast, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to challenge myself and put myself in front of the camera. I know there's some people that I follow. They resell. They never want to show their face. They're really scared too, because there is some risk with that. If somebody wants to maybe report your business, or maybe I've heard cases where, say, somebody sells on Amazon, right?
Yeah.
And their Instagram handle is the same as their Amazon uh, store. People will buy stuff from their store, like a mass quantity, return it, and then make that seller lose a ton of money just because they want to be a scumbag because they don't like the person. So I'm saying there are definitely some risks to putting yourself online, but I feel like overall, you put yourself out there, you're honest, you're a genuine person, you're not a scumbag, you're just trying to help out other people. I feel like online, uh, it just like it elevates pretty much like who you are. Like you'll be able to get more connections since you know more people. You have more opportunities. Like today, I had the opportunity of speaking with you. I think that's pretty amazing. Otherwise, I'd never know who Don was. I never know Don's story. I would never known about the Burlingtons that he absolutely scooped up those good finds from. I would
Oh,
have never known.
I have so many finds. So I haven't even told you about some of the stuff.
Yeah.
Real quick, I want to add this and then get to the finds. I feel like the reason why some resellers don't show their faces is because where they live. Because I know different places like stores have policies.
Oh yeah, that's one reason too.
Like here, nobody cares. Like I've saw resellers, but I think they take it to Mexico or to the swap meet
Yeah.
where they have baskets full of like Michael Kors purses, Guess purses, like 10 of each purse, like 10 of
Yeah.
each style. Um, I mean, it's just kind of annoying for the cashier to ring everything. Other than that, it's cool. I've returned like big orders. As long as they have the money in the register, nobody cares.
That's
I've
good.
had people that work at Burlington be like, "Hey, this is reselling, isn't it?" I'm like, "Yeah," and
Yeah. Yeah, like that.
they think it's cool. They just don't have the time or don't know how to do it. They know it resells.
Yeah.
Um, so the fines. I want to get into that. um, so back in February, after the New Balances, I found the catcher gear. No, the umpire gear.
Was it like a vest?
Yeah, it was a vest
In the
and
I've seen
no
like the catcher helmet.
no,
I
it
think I know what you're
was
talking about.
the shin guards.
Oh, the shin guards. Yeah, I found those
Yeah.
too. Those are good money.
So yeah, I found them. They were Adidas. They didn't know how to price them, so they just gave it to me for like I think $7.
That's crazy. I actually have one in my room right now. I paid $15 for mine though, so you got a steal.
I got two
I mean, we both
pairs.
got steals, but that's good.
I posted them up. Um, I'm not. I don't want to make myself as an undercutter, but I just being that I had the limited capital
Yeah.
and being like just a college student, I wanted stuff to sell, so I put it up for like 60 plus ship, and it immediately sold. And it was right around where comps were. I think comps were like 70,
That's
like
good, man. I mean,
80.
everybody's situation's different. Like some people don't like the undercutters, but if you have limited capital, you gotta move it so you can move it into the next 5, 10, 15 flips. You know what I mean? If you don't have that money, then you're missing out on further opportunities. So I understand it, and like people also don't have the space. That's a big thing. Like if you know, like
Yeah.
live in, like, say you only have one bedroom, or like maybe even like a closet, and that's all you have to store your stuff. I mean, you gotta just build out of the closet. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Um, let me see. Just like shoes, Nikes, golf shoes, like the ones where the laces retract inside themselves. So like
Yeah,
twenty
those are
dollar
good.
pair of golf shoes and they're like $80.
Yeah,
Um, running jackets, a lot of Nike stuff. I bought like the whole rack of Adidas tracksuits.
Wow.
So it was like orange and yellow. I didn't know if they were gonna sell. Posted them up, and like again, overseas, Malaysia, China, just they bought them up.
Scooped them up. Yeah.
Turned
Different.
like 25 into 60, 70.
That's good. On each one? That's pretty good.
Yeah, on each one.
That's actually really crazy. Yeah. So, just for like the viewers, so just like a quick rundown, what do you think are like say you're really new, you haven't watched I don't know if you know of Hustler Hacks, but you haven't watched like Hustler Hacks, you don't know about the retail arbitrage game. Somebody goes in Charlotte Burlington, like what do you think they should look for?
Definitely shoes and like the Nike Adidas section, the activewear.
Yeah.
Um, One of my craziest flips was this running. I guess it's a sling running tank top,
Yeah.
and it's a Nike. It's real thin material. It's like incredibly. Like it looked like if you just went like this, it would rip. And it said Nike in Uganda, the
Mhm.
African country. I paid $12 for it. And I looked it up. I just typed in Nike Uganda. 100, no, 200 to $300 they were selling for.
Crazy. That's the one with the divide, no?
No, it was just a yellow like tank top, and it
That's
just said.
crazy.
I can send you a picture after. I was shaking when I found
You're
that. I
like,
was like,
oh, that's the best feeling. If anybody listening has gotten this far, when you find a good find, there's no better feeling when you find that good find, and you're like, yeah, I don't know this or something. You look it up, and then it's like $300, and you can get it for like sub $50, or like say it's like $200, and you can get it for like $50. It's like you start shaking, you're like, ah, and you like go to grab it, and you're like, ah.
so I posted it, and yeah, same day it sold. Um, I was the only one with the big size because it was a girl's shirt.
Yeah.
A guy in China bought it for I think it was 200 plus ship, and I turned 12 into $200.
That's crazy, man. That's actually insane. See, I used to not mess with clothing at all. I'd skip the clothing aisle, but it seems like you're cleaning up on some clothing.
I
Like,
used to lose money on clothing. I used to buy like the Nike basketball like basketball team shirts. I
yeah,
lose like $2-3 like February, March. I'm like, I'm never buying clothing. And then after COVID, I started finding these little like clothes and yeah.
yeah, yeah. It definitely, if you know what to look for and you kind of gain that knowledge, like I've had to watch. It's kind of a shame because I don't even go to Ross and Marshalls that much, but I'll have that skill for the rest of my life that if I go to like a Ross or Marshalls, I'll know what's high end and what's not high end. And I mean, I'll still have the skill of knowing what's high end and low end, but I just like the idea that I could go into any Ross, Marshalls in Burlington, probably walk out with at least. Sometimes you walk out empty-handed, but I'm gonna, on average, probably walk out with at least $50 profit.
I know nothing about soccer other than just playing it once and like twice in PE in high school. And I walked into Burlington yesterday and then last week, and I found these Adidas goalie soccer gloves. There's two kinds. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Were they
Um,
like these?
no, no, no. They were. I can get them.
No, you're good.
I don't know. They weren't the
I just
Predator.
had
They
I just had them right there.
no. Those are the nice ones though. The Nike. These were Adidas. So I looked at the two boxes and I was like, this. There's something with this one. And I
Yeah.
flipped them both over at the same time. And retail for the one was 90, and the other retail was like 40.
Yeah.
Instantly, you know what's more valuable than the other, and looked it up, and sure enough, they're selling. and it was $7 per uh
Per glove?
yeah, per set.
Oh, per set. Oh, wow.
Yeah. And they're selling actively for like 60, $50
It's crazy.
plus ship. And you always make a little extra on the
So
shipping.
so it's still like a good like $38 quick flip pretty
Oh
much.
yeah, multiply that by 8 because I cleaned the
Oh, you
rack
got
off.
8? Oh, wow.
And
Nice, man.
I went to the other Burlingtons and I asked and they didn't get them in.
Nothing. Sometimes I've learned that sometimes if you ask it helps. Or like if you ask so now um well there's two things that I want to say here. One good point that you had is you looked at the retail price and then you kind of had a gauge of what the value was. For anybody who's listening, that's not always the case. But if you look at the retail price and you know it's like, if the tag says, oh, it's like $100, $90, just look it up because sometimes it's way above the suggested retail price, and sometimes it's below it. But you just kind of learn over time, and yeah, like uh, I forgot the other thing that I was gonna say, but that's basically a quick guide of like Ross, Marshalls, Burlington. I would say is you just look at the suggested retail, and then you see, oh, the suggested retail's high. Definitely gonna look this up. But I have definitely found things that the suggested retail is really low, but it's still selling well online. They just might have they mistagged it,
Oh
but
yeah.
yeah, now I always ask the workers. Maybe I'm just a pain, but if a worker's nearby, I'll be like, "Hey, when do you guys put out the shoes? I really like shoes." Or I'll be like, "Oh, I like collect shoes," or whatnot. So I'm not like upfront about. I like being upfront about reselling, but just a casual question like that, I feel like it's like, oh, like when do you guys put out shoes? Either they'll go, I have no idea. They'll be like, oh yeah, we're bringing them out right now,
Yeah.
and you're like, okay, I'll wait 5 minutes. You know what I mean? And one time I did that. It was actually two and a half weeks ago, and they brought out really high end pair of cleats, and those cleats are selling on eBay for 130, and I got them for $25. So pretty
Nice.
cool. I haven't sold them yet, but I
They'll
priced
sell.
all of my
They'll
yeah
sell.
I priced all my things above the comps. So because I feel like that's the for me that's more of like the time effective way to do it. So I get more for the time.
Plus, people always make offers, so if you're priced above, then they'll be like, "I'm gonna offer him this." And
Yeah.
I think it's a better strategy.
I'll definitely price absolutely out there, especially if I don't only look at the style, but I look at how many sold in that style, how many sold in the size that I got, and how many are listed in the size that I got. And they're selling really well, but there's like nobody in the size that I got. I'll price it way up. Like say everybody's at 80, I'll price it like 120.
Yeah,
Because if somebody wants this stylish shoe
they'll
in
pay
that
it.
size, they're gonna have to pay up for it because I'm the only one that has it, and that's just how it is.
That's a good strategy. Um, but yeah, that's about it. Um, it's like little things I find like soccer jerseys. I had this one Team USA jersey, paid 30, sold it for 120 to a guy in Australia.
It's kind of crazy.
Um,
Seems like you just have a lot of overseas buyers.
yeah, a lot of international cars. I don't know why, but yeah, that's about it.
So what do you see for like the future of reselling? You said, so you don't see this as a, you just see this as like a fun hobby, right? And nothing
Yeah, to
more.
make like good money, help people find stuff. I like to invest in like hype sneakers, put them aside for the future,
Yeah.
and that's about it.
Do you this is a little bit outside of reselling, but do you try to I know you're a college student, I'm also a college student, but do you try to invest in stocks or have you thought of other different small business ideas? Cuz I know
Thought of
like reselling is kind of like a gateway for a lot of make money online things.
I've thought about stocks. I don't know a thing about it, that's why I don't get involved. Um in the future, maybe think about flipping like a vehicle. Like
Yeah.
like my dad got a Toyota Tacoma really affordable and did some little work to it. He could easily flip it for double.
That's crazy.
Yeah, stuff like that in the future.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds pretty interesting. I know there's some people that they fix and flip cars. They make good money. There's some people that just they just clean up the car. Like, say somebody wants to sell it right away. Sort of like basically anything. Like, people do this with houses. The house looks bad, and then
New
they,
paint, new yard.
yeah, new paint, new yard. Nothing structural. So for like a car, like nothing like is bad on it. But you just like maybe repaint it, or not even repaint it. Just shop vac and get the smoke smell out of the car,
Yeah,
and you can sell it for like $300 more.
uh, definitely that. Um, maybe like in the future, I want to have a career. Um, but like on the side, maybe like a franchise of like something. Because I knew people that have franchises of like restaurants. They made good money,
Yeah.
but that's about it.
Okay. Yeah, that seems pretty interesting. Franchising, like, there's some jobs that it's like, people are like, oh, so this person doesn't make that much money doing this, but franchising, there's definitely a lot of money in it, especially if you're an owner. If you own like one Chick-fil-A, to my
Oh,
understanding, you'll make like $400,000 plus a year, and you're basically set for life.
I mean, I'd be happy with 100K a year. Like, damn.
Yeah. Um. So yeah, so I guess that's about it. So thank you for being on the Echo Flipping podcast, Don. Is
It's a
there
pleasure.
is there anything else you really want to end the viewers with? Is there any
Um,
end note you'd like to give to
just
anybody that's just like they're interested about reselling, but they're kind of like on the hook, kind of like when you're in your dad's garage and he's like, sell this stuff. Some people
just
just say no, but you said
yeah,
yes.
have fun, take risk. You're helping people. Um, just be positive, and you get positive back. And yeah, have fun. Like I love going to Burlington. Find deals. Like I found okay, I find these shoes I can resell for 150, but then I find a jersey that I could wear. The shirt came from
Yeah.
Burlington. I took my parents there, and they're like, at first, they're like, "What is this place?" And then every time they go, they buy something for
Yeah.
themselves. I've taken friends that refuse to buy clothes for themselves, and now
They
they're
love
like
it.
Tommy Hilfiger, Calvin Klein people.
They're wearing, they got the RBX shoes on.
But I mean, it's positive. Like I have this one friend that she um, would get a lot of stress and anxiety, and then started going, and she buys like clothes for herself, and it just channeled that stress.
Yeah.
And yeah, just try it, guys.
Yeah.
Um, it's a great hobby. It's a great business. You meet some great people like Cody.
Thanks, Don. So yeah, I mean, just if you're curious, just try it out. Like Don said,